ambitious and ruthless. Meghan burst into loud wails as Tom Bower gathered 80 evidence to unmask her. Royal author Tom Bower savaged Meghan Markle whilst explaining how he managed to get people who had been close to the Duchess of Sussex to open up and speak about her life for his new book. Mr. Bower discussed getting factual stories about Meghan Markle for his new book with Good Morning Britain hosts Ben Shepherd and Charlotte Hawkins. The royal author explained that 80 people had given him personal stories about time spent with the Duchess. Mr. Bower went on to discuss spending 2 days in Mexico meeting Thomas Markle, the Duchess of Sussex's father, in order to find out more about her parents' relationship. The royal author described the Duchess as intelligent, determined and ruthless. Ms. Hawkins said, "What were the revelations that for you, sort of stood out the most? Because obviously, you approached this, there are going to be bits about, bits you want to dig into. Was there a particular part of it that you thought actually I wasn't expecting that?" Mr. Bower added, "Well, there was a whole story about her attitude to people she works with, especially in a photo shoot about Marks and Spencer's chain store in Canada, where the experience of all 80 crew was just horrendous. And there was an agent who told. 2 agents who told horrible stories about her bullying and her oppression. That was really quite a revelation. Her father finally opened up quite a lot about the relationship between him and her mother." Mr. Shepherd said, "Did you speak to him directly?" Mr. Bower said, "I went to Mexico for 2 days, and it was fascinating. I know of people in Hollywood who just speak, and told very interesting stories about Suits, for example. How she became Rachel Zane, and Rachel Zane became her, and in Toronto how she built up her profile. That was pretty impressive. But, overall I came across with the impression of a woman who was very intelligent, very determined, very ambitious. But also ruthless. And in the end in her terms successful." Mr. Bower continued, "Normally from people who don't like Meghan Markle, because she made it pretty clear to all her friends, the people that work for her, not to talk to me. So it was quite an uphill struggle. Well, I found enough people, more than enough, nearly 80 people to talk." A former Buckingham Palace press secretary who worked with Princess Diana has cast doubt on whether Prince Harry would have married Meghan Markle had his mother been alive. Speaking to GB News on Friday, Dickie Arbiter, press secretary to Queen Elizabeth II from 1988 to 2000, told the show hosts, "I'm going to stick my neck out here, and I doubt Harry would have married Meghan because Harry wouldn't have been in the state he was in as a result of his mother's death. He would have taken a completely different course and he would still be here working in support of the Queen." The former palace aide was prompted to make such a statement after discussing the prince's legal battle with the UK Home Office over security. A High Court judge ruled on Friday that the prince had an arguable case against the government and that a judicial review could take place. This was a win for the prince in his dispute which, he argues, left Britain an unsafe place for him to bring his family. Presenter Anne Diamond posed the question to Arbiter, "You can't help thinking, what would Princess Diana think of all this? I wonder what she would advise her youngest son?" He responded, "If Princess Diana was alive today we would not be going through this. She had her head screwed on the right way. She was very practical and she was very sensible." Arbiter was also asked to comment on the recent news that the BBC had agreed to pay damages to a former royal nanny employed by Prince Charles in the 1990s who, it was alleged, was the victim of false and unfounded allegations that were made up to likely influence Diana into giving her famous 1995 Panorama interview. False claims circulated at the time of the interview that Tiggy Pettifer, née Leg Burke, had been having an affair with Charles and had aborted a child.